Good day, everyone! It's so exciting to chat about rhinos today. These animals are truly magnificent, aren't they? They are like ancient warriors roaming the land. So big, so powerful, yet often so gentle. They have been on our planet for millions of years. Just imagine that. What a long, long time. They really are one of nature's true wonders. Let's explore their incredible world together. It's going to be a wild adventure. There are actually 5 different kinds of rhinos. 2 types live in Africa, the white rhino and the black rhino, and 3 types live over in Asia, the Indian, Javan and Sumatran. Each one is unique and special in its own way. All rhinos have super thick skin like a suit of armor. This tough skin helps protect them from thorny bushes, and sometimes from the bites of other animals. They really do look like prehistoric creatures, don't they? Like a dinosaur decided to stick around. Now let's talk about those famous horns. Rhino horns are not made of bone like many people think. They're actually made of something called keratin. That's the same stuff our fingernails and hair are made of. Sadly, some people wrongly believe rhino horns have magic powers. This has led to terrible poaching, which really hurts rhinos. It's so important to know the truth about their horns. These animals also have quite poor eyesight, bless them. But their sense of smell and hearing are absolutely brilliant. So come on this journey with me. We're going to learn so much more about these giants. They might look all tough and grumpy on the outside, but many rhinos have a surprisingly gentle nature. Their daily lives are filled with fascinating behaviors. Understanding them helps us see why they're so important. They truly need our help and our voices, so they can continue to roam wild and free, just as they have for all those many years. You might wonder, what does a massive rhino eat? Well, these incredible animals are herbivores, which is fantastic. This means their diet is entirely made up of plants. No hunting other animals for these gentle giants. They spend a lot of their time searching for tasty greens. They love to munch on different types of grasses, and they also eat leaves, twigs, and even some fruits. It's like a giant salad bar for them out in the wild, a completely vegetarian diet for these huge creatures. Different types of rhinos have different ways of eating. It often comes down to the shape of their lips. White rhinos, for example, have wide, square lips. These are perfect for grazing on large amounts of grass, like a big 4-legged lawnmower, keeping the plains tidy. Black rhinos, on the other hand, have a pointy, prehensile upper lip. This means they can use their lip like a finger to grab tasty leaves and twigs from bushes and trees. How clever is that, adapting to their favorite foods? And crikey, do rhinos eat a lot of food. An adult rhino can eat many, many kilograms of plants every single day just to keep their big bodies going. That's a whole lot of chewing, you can imagine. They usually prefer to eat in the cooler parts of the day, so you'll often see them grazing early in the morning or late in the afternoon as the sun starts to set. This helps them avoid the scorching heat of midday. They use their strong lips and sometimes even their horns to get food. Their plant-based diet does more than just feed them. Rhinos are super important for their environment. When they eat plants and then wander around, they spread seeds. These seeds pass through their tummies and come out in their dung. This helps new plants to grow in different places. Their grazing also helps to keep grasslands healthy and open. This creates space for smaller plants and animals to thrive. So, in their own way, rhinos are like giant gardeners, helping to shape the beautiful landscapes they live in. So, what's life like for a rhino day to day? Well, their social lives can be quite varied, it seems. Some rhinos, like the black rhino, are often quite solitary. They prefer to spend much of their time on their own. Except for mothers, of course, who stay with their young calves. White rhinos, however, can be a bit more social. You might see them in small groups called a crash. This is often a mum with her calf and maybe a few other females. It's always wonderful to see them together. How do rhinos communicate with each other then? They use a whole range of sounds to express themselves. You might hear them snort or grunt or even let out a bellow. They also use body language just like we do. The position of their ears or tail can tell you a lot, and they have a fascinating way of leaving messages, scent. They use communal dung heaps called middens. These are like rhino notice boards full of information, telling other rhinos who's been there and what they're up to. One thing most rhinos absolutely love is a good mud bath. They really enjoy wallowing in mud or shallow water, and there are some very good reasons for this mucky habit. The lovely cool mud helps them to cool down their big bodies, especially on a really hot day in Africa or Asia. The mud also acts as a natural sunscreen, which is clever, protecting their thick skin from the harsh rays of the sun. Plus, it helps to keep annoying biting insects away. So a mud spa is both fun and very practical. As these huge animals move through their habitat, they make changes. They create pathways through dense vegetation as they walk. These paths can then be used by other smaller animals too. Waterholes are incredibly important places for rhinos, not just for drinking but also for cooling off and socializing. Generally, rhinos are quite peaceful creatures if left alone. They prefer to avoid conflict if they can. But if they feel threatened or if a mother is protecting her calf, then they will certainly stand their ground and be very defensive. Let's talk some more about those truly amazing horns. As we know, they are made of keratin, packed densely together. It's not a weapon they use for hunting, as they eat plants, but their horns are very useful for other things. They can use them to defend themselves from predators, or to protect their precious young calves from danger. Sometimes they use them to dig for water under dry riverbeds, or to break branches to get to tasty leaves. And if a horn gets broken, it can slowly grow back over time. Here's a super fun fact for you about these animals. What do you call a group of rhinos when they are together? It's called a crash of rhinos. Isn't that a great name? It sounds so dramatic, but they're usually quite calm. And another amazing thing, rhinos can run surprisingly fast. Despite their enormous size and bulk, they are quite speedy. They can charge at speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour. That's about 30 miles per hour for short bursts. Wow, you wouldn't want to be in their way then. Rhinos often have little feathered friends that help them out. These are small birds called oxpeckers, or sometimes tick birds. You'll often see these birds perched on a rhino's back or head. They are busy eating ticks, flies, and other parasites from the rhino's skin. This is a fantastic deal for both of them. The rhino gets a good cleaning and is freed from itchy pests. And the oxpeckers get a delicious, easy meal. These birds also act as an early warning system. If they spot danger, they'll make a loud chattering noise alerting the rhino. So, as you can see, rhinos are truly remarkable creatures. They play such an important role in their ecosystems. They are what we call a keystone species. This means that many other plants and animals depend on them. Their grazing habits help maintain the grasslands, for instance. That's why it's so incredibly important that we protect them. They face serious threats from poaching for their horns, and also from losing their precious habitat. But if we all work together, we can help save these gentle giants, so they can continue to inspire awe for generations to come.